Hello, everybody.
Hey,
I was just making sure it wasn't going to have any sound issues there. Okay, so it looks like we do have a bit of a bit of a house tonight. Um, here's basically what's on tap for tonight. Went from 4 to 0 real fast, but anyways, we're gonna be going over comics that went on. We're going to be basically going over Speed Comics Volume One, issue number 2 from Brookwood Publications, which of course eventually became Harvey Comics. So so um,
cool.
so if you guys haven't already, if you guys can like and share the stream, and see if we can get some more friendly people here, that'd be appreciated. Also, of course, before we get started, Rick, you want to introduce yourself, and of course, if you wish, you can share your link in the chat for any of your stuff as well.
Uh, um, I'm Rick Piper, as you sort of alluded to by calling me Rick, obviously, and I have a comic company called Cross Comics, as people might be able to see from um, things with my my name on here. Well, I make comic books, as I said, and you can catch them right now before they go out of in demand on Indiegogo over on Indiegogo. The Canadian Shield 2 and Snowdrift number 1. And of
I'll be
course,
right back, Rick.
okay. Of course, I am also here on YouTube as well with my own channel, Cross Comics. And while Mike is doing that, maybe I will uh, bring up my camera and maybe show off uh, my 2 new books because I got the proofs in the other day, Thursday, I think, yesterday. So, yeah, there is the one, Canadian Shield 2, and the other, Snowdrift number 1. So, that is looking good. And it
Oh,
sounds like
there
Mike
we
is
go with that right there. There's the
the link for the
ah yeah,
Indiegogo.
yeah. The avatar isn't showing on the Facebook page on my thing.
Uh, it's showing on my side.
Well, I'm talking more about in the chat.
Oh,
Yeah, which is kind of weird here. Um, Anyways, let's see if we can fix that a bit here. Don't know why we're having issues tonight. All right. So, anyways, there we go. It did seem to fix it there. So, but with that, wait. That's why you're coming in and. Rick, I'm gonna go out of the studio for a moment because this thing keeps coming up like the connection is off. So I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna leave the studio for a quick second and come back. All right.
uh-huh. Sounds good. Well, we're just waiting on Mike yet again. I'm here all by myself. I can't. I try and take over a show, but I can't. I can't control anything. I do not control the horizontal or the vertical. I am not the Twilight Zone.
All right. All right. So hopefully that fixed that issue then. Anyways,
Hey,
let's see. We're coming up on 5 minutes here, so I guess it'd be a good time to get started.
we got RJ in the chat. Hey, critical RJ.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, he just said all by myself.
Yeah.
planning on stuff I was saying while you were in and out of the studio, out and into the studio.
All right. Well, thanks for popping in. RJ, you're here now, so I guess we'll get started then. We had some people here. So let's go ahead and get started then. Um, all right. So here we go with. So here's the cover of it. Speed Comics, number 2 here. November 10th. Now remember, November, that's the cover date. That's not the on sale
Yeah,
date. As
yeah,
we explained several times over.
yeah. That is so confusing. Them doing that in comics, I hate it.
Well, I think nowadays they're more up to date where the on sale date is usually the same as the cover date, but back in these days, the on sale date was usually about 2 months, 1 to 2 months prior to the actual
Yeah,
cover date. So
yeah. They well, I'm not sure if they've changed it. I'm not sure when they did that. That's been up until like into the thousands that they did that.
yeah, 64 pages, all color, all action, all thrills. Look, there's Shot Gibson there, and he's got a girl in his arms there.
Yeah.
Shot Gibson, big double length feature, which of course as we commented on
Look
was
at
like.
those slippers he's wearing. He's not wearing boots. He's not wearing shoes. He's wearing slippers.
Well, I think he has if we remember correctly, I think he has like electric based powers. So maybe he needs the shoes for that reason. Here's your chance to be a human dynamo. Join the Shot Gibson volunteers. Get a live wire. But yeah, this is something they did back in these days too, and this is something they did with a number of different characters. I know, like the Junior Federal Men from DC Comics, and later Minutemen of America for the Hourman comic. They do a lot of this type of. They did a lot of this type of stuff back then, at least back in these days. So, anyways, so let's continue on here. So here we go. Shock Gibson, the human dynamo. Here we
He's
go.
just shocking.
Yeah. Charles Gibson, a young man with a hobby of experimenting with chemical and electric forces, was at work in the laboratory one night when the place was struck by a terrific bolt of lightning. The chemical spilled over him, and at the same time, he received the full force of the lightning through his body. Sound familiar?
Yeah, jeez. Sort of like the guy that his costumes ripped off after.
Well,
Well,
I don't know.
sorry. I mean the
I don't
guy who
know if
ripped
you would
off
say
his
he's a rip.
costume.
If anything, it would be Jay Garrick might be considered the rip off
Yeah.
because remember Jay Garrick came late. They say Jay Garrick. Of course this comic debuted about a month prior. In August. So I think Flash #1. I think it might be the following month here. In fact, November.
Yeah. But of course, they don't use this till years later when they create Barry Allen. It's not the way that Max Mercury, not Max, Jay got his powers. So,
Right.
although, except for the chemical stuff, it's so. I use that lightning bolt to give my sort of energy-based character that she trips, falls in a pool, and then gets electrified in a pool of water. There's no chemicals or anything, but the electricity becomes part of her. So another character that's similar. Although I know nothing about this guy at the time. I wonder if this guy has a positive outlook or a negative one.
As in the electrical charges.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully
Anyway,
people are still here because according to the viewer count, I've only got one person viewing.
I'm got it up still, so.
Yeah. Well, maybe RJ had to go back to his show, I guess, or if he's still doing his thing. Um, let's see. Okay, so some reaction of the chemicals combined with the huge voltage of the electrical charge caused a mysterious change in the youth. Instead of killing him outright, it gave him a strange increase in his vital energy. He became suddenly all powerful, endowed with an almost unbelievable strength and energy. Upon the advice of a wise doctor, the youth dedicates his marvelous strength to the service of humanity. He adopts a distinctive costume and, under the new name of Shock Gibson, becomes a man apart, vowing always to work in the interest of fair play and square dealing. Fair play. Do you know? You know, there was a DC character who also made that part of his mantra.
Yeah, but I think he originally started in Charlton as well, a different comic company, Fair Play.
What, Mister Terrific?
Yeah, no, there. Yeah, well, maybe Mr. Terrific. Yeah, I thought there was one that
No,
said his
no,
name
I'm
was
talking
Fair
about
Play.
Mister Terrific was the guy
Yeah,
who said fair. Talked about fair play.
yeah.
On its scheduled flight to South America, a giant plane of the Inter America Lines takes off. Let's see. Oh, there's a couple of girls there, so I'll take care of those. um, they're on their way. Yes, my husband's abroad. I hope nothing happens. 10 hours later, the main office of the Inter America Lines officials of the company are tense with anxiety. Several of their planes have mysteriously disappeared. Um, you want to do the younger? You want to do the guy with the headphones on? I'll do the older guy.
Okay. The radios went dead, sir.
Again, it's the third plane to be lost without a trace. This is terrible. The next day, another Inter America plane takes off on schedule. Frankly, I'm nervous.
Me too. Me too. These planes disappearing this way will ruin us.
Out over the lonely Caribbean flies a transport plane. Right in the plane's course. Oh boy. Okay, anyways. Right in the plane's course, an innocent looking whaling ship lies hove to. Rick, do you know what a whaling ship is?
A ship trying to catch whales to kill them for
Yeah,
their
I believe
blubber
I
and
believe
stuff.
that's what it is. Yeah.
Now, I noticed something interesting. This ship is called Black Hawk. Did these guys do the Black Hawk
No,
characters?
no. Blackhawk was a quality property.
Ah,
Blackhawk debuted in military comics, I think, sometime in the early '40s, and then eventually got his own title, Blackhawk.
yeah.
All right. So, anyways, getting back to the thing there. But on the whaling ship's bridge is a sinister figure. It is Baron von Kampf. Now, I believe that he was the villain from the last story too. When we did this, the last
Ah,
time we did. A mad genius who plans to dominate the world. His latest plot is a scheme to control all of South America in the interest of a foreign power. So let me just. All right, so I think Von Kampf is the guy in the all green there. So you want to do the henchman there? I'll do Von Kampf there.
Another plane is just about due. This will make the fourth we've captured.
Oh, good. I'll need more of them for my plans. They'll make excellent bombers for the day. For the day. One of Von Kampf's weapons is a ray machine of his own invention. It can stop a plane's motors and its radio instantly. So that's how they ended up losing contact. So,
Look, there's another plane now, almost above us.
I'll put the ray and bring it down. Stand by for action.
Aye, sir.
All right. Von Kampf focuses the ray gun on the transport plane. Then, so that was Von. That's okay. All right. Let's see. Want to do the guy on the left? I'll do the guy on the right.
Sure.
All right. At that moment in the control cabin of the plane.
Gosh, the motors have gone dead. And so it's the radio. I can't understand it.
That's queer. Lucky for us, there's a whaling ship below. They'll help. Now, just to remind everybody, because we've talked about this quite a bit.
Probably. Queer has nothing to do with sexuality. It just means weird.
Right. The queer had a much different meaning back in the 30s than it does now. It just simply means strange or weird.
Peculiar.
Peculiar. Just for those who haven't caught any of our shows before, we've talked about that on several occasions. Anyways, then the skillful pilot attempts a dead stick landing near the whaling ship. Easy now, and all will be okay. Suddenly, small boats filled with armed lascars swarm from the whaler. Lascars. Is that a type of people, or is that just another name for crew, I wonder?
Either that or maybe a type of gun.
Okay, so I'll do the first two bubbles in, and you can do the last one. Let's see. Please to hold up the hands, everybody. What is this? A racket?
You can't do this. I'm a U.S. citizen.
U.S. Under the guns of the lascars, the plane is towed to the bow of the ship. Then the stern of the whaling ship gapes widely, showing the huge opening through which whales are hauled aboard. Yeah, I've seen that in some cartoons before.
Yeah.
Does that look familiar to you, Rick?
Slightly. I'm just not sure whether a plane would fit in with the wings spread out into something like that.
Well, I guess they somehow made it happen.
Yeah.
Oh, here's how they answered that question, Rick. The wings of the plane are folded back, and the preparations are made to haul it aboard. All right, so there you go. That's how they got around that.
Yeah, but most of these planes would not be. It wouldn't be that easy to fold back the wings. But
Yeah, well, details, right? Details. Anyways, heading on. So, with the plane aboard ship, the crew and passengers are locked up. Um, so, I'll be the thug. I'll be the two thugs here, and then you be the guy in the middle there. Okay.
Okay.
Um, into these cages. Make it snappy.
What is this?
We've been here for weeks. Meanwhile, deep in the ship's hold, the plane is taken apart. Easy, men. Store the parts away carefully. And you want to do that guy? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, excellent. Yes, Excellency. We're experts at this.
So far away in New York, Shock Gibson reads of the repeated disappearance of the planes. I'll do something about this. I'll be a passenger on the next plane.
And
So,
how do you know that one's going to get taken?
just the way they wrote it back then.
Yeah, I know. I got to point out obvious plot holes.
Yeah. Dressed in civilian clothes, Shock enters the next Inter-America plane headed for South America. I have to make this flight. Gosh, I wouldn't go on this trip. Too many planes disappear.
Out of all the planes that are traveling around, like 5 have disappeared. That's not a lot.
Exactly 10 hours later, um, something's wrong. The motors are dead, and so is the radio. At the first hint of trouble, Shock discards his civilian clothes and appears in his distinctive garb.
Who
Who are
are
you?
you?
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No problem. I well, maybe I should have had because I was doing the pilot, but looks like okay. Who are you? Never mind. I'll take charge here now.
Yeah, we don't know who you are, and we're just gonna let you take charge. I don't think so.
Shock seizes the wires of the silenced radio. The electrical current flows from his body into the set, causing it to work once more. Now try the radio. And then now you do this guy. This guy
Okay.
is the co-pilot.
The radio works. You must have some strange power.
A call for help is sent out. SOS, longitude 71 degrees 34 west, latitude 14 degrees 5 mark north. All motors dead. Forced landing ship nearby.
I've contracted our base. They say a destroyer is on the way.
The plane lands near the whaler. Immediately, it is surrounded by boats from the ship. Everybody, please to hold up hands. You two with the strange clothes. Do you mind if I don't? Defying the armed Lascars, Shock dives overboard. Guess I'll go for a little swim. Stop! We shoot. And as Shock, I guess Lascars are like a type of people or something like that. I guess
Yeah, they have to be.
I mean, with the way their English is a bit broken here, so and as Shock swims away, the Lascars pepper him with bullets. Bang! You want to do the sound effects there?
Bang! 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 Uh, uh, I'm not sure whether he should be using his electrical powers in water. It could be, a little shocking,
Shocking.
electrifying.
Yep.
Take your pick.
All right. So, anyways, back to the story here. All right. But shock creates an electrical field of force around his body and deflects the slugs. Okay. Well, maybe because the electricity is coming from inside his own body, maybe he is somehow insulated from his own power.
Yeah, that's possible.
You know, maybe because the electricity is inside his body, he's probably just self-insulated.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Zing,
We
zing.
miss him. Oh, you want
That's
me to
it.
do that part?
No, I was just doing the sound effects. Zing,
Oh,
zing.
yeah. We miss him. Let foolish one depart. Sharks wheel fix him. Shock swims vigorously. Suddenly, three sharks appear. One of the sharks attacks. One of the sharks attacks Shock. Shock.
Yeah, that's just shocking that they would attack him.
Well, I was just getting into the alliteration. There is what I was
Yeah.
getting into there.
And I was just thinking, yeah, it'd be probably like an electric eel. They use electricity in the water.
Yeah. So Shock turns on his back and kicks the man eater, killing it instantly. So I guess, well, I guess when he kicked it, he may have sent like some kind of bolt of electricity into him or something like that,
Yeah.
right?
Those look like very small sharks, though.
Hmm. Good point. With the electrical force of his hands, Shock kills the remaining two sharks. For,
Call FIFA.
don't you mean PETA?
Okay, PETA, whatever. He's PETA somebody off.
Towards nightfall, Shock swims back to the whaler, but the whaler is steaming off. Soon,
Is it
Shock
that mad?
overtakes. Huh?
I said, is it that mad? It's steaming off. Somebody goes steaming off. They're usually
Uh,
mad.
soon, Shock overtakes the ship.
Wow, he's Aquaman.
Or maybe his electrical powers in his body just give him the energy and strength to swim that fast.
Yeah,
Like
I
a little
know.
dynamo. I mean, they call it the human dynamo, obviously. So, Shock climbs aboard.
Wow, he got. That's amazing. He must have used his powers to hold on to the ship somehow.
Yeah. A sentry challenges. Shock knocks him out with a single blow.
Who
You know,
goes there?
aroused by the sentry's cry, the Lascar crew swarm up from below deck with their machine guns. It is the strange one, death to him. Steady, boys. A deadly hail of machine gun bullets streams toward Shock. Once more, Shock creates a field of electrical force around his body, deflecting the bullets. Shock advances on the blazing machine guns. The crew runs for their lives. I'll take that gun. He is evil spirit, run! Shock seizes the machine guns and breaks them over. Shock seizes the machine guns and breaks them over his knees. I don't like these toys. Would
Wow,
anybody in that case?
I don't think so.
Huh? Looking up at the bridge, Shock spies von Kampf. You here? Ah, Baron von Kampf. I thought we would meet again. This time you will not escape me. Von Kampf thinks fast and focuses the ray on Shock. This ray can stop the engines of a battleship. It ought to hold him for a while.
Those ears really make him look Vulcan or elfish or something
Yeah. The
on
switch
Von
is
Kampf.
yeah. The switch is thrown, and in a split second, Shock will be helpless. I've got a bone to pick with you. Caught by the rays, Shock temporarily loses his dynamic powers, finds every nerve and muscle in his powerful body paralyzed. This is strange. I feel suddenly weak and helpless. All hands on the forecastle. And you want to do that guy down there?
Oi, sir!
He is seized by the crew and bound to a mast. Our master's magic is greater than yours. I wonder. The cowardly von Kampf, knowing his ray machine only works a few seconds in an hour, escapes in a catapult blade. Oh boy! Are the last guards about to get a surprise? Eh, Rick?
Yeah,
I just have a feeling they're going to get quite a surprise that they're not going to like.
they're definitely gonna get grounded.
Mm-hmm. The effect of the ray gun wears off. Shock breaks his bonds. I feel better now. Have mercy, oh great one! He seizes the Lascar and shakes him like a dog shakes a rat. That's an interesting. Shakes him like a dog shakes a rat. Okay.
Guess it's got to be a big dog, not a chihuahua.
Yeah. Meanwhile, a destroyer steams up under forced draft. Sailors and Marines swarm aboard von Kampf's ship. And
What goes on here? What goes on here?
hands up, everybody. You kind of knew exactly where I was going, didn't you, Rick?
Yeah.
A naval officer approaches Shock to question him, but Shock dives overboard.
Hey, I want to talk to you.
Sorry, I can't wait. And swims off at terrific speed.
Hey, what the?
Many miles away, Shock overtakes a native lugger bound for the coast of South America and climbs aboard. Mind if I hitch a ride? He must be a god. No man can swim like that. The lugger approaches the coast of El Matador. Rick, don't know how much Spanish you know, but do you know what an El Matador is?
Well, that's just the bull guy, you know.
Bullfighter.
Yeah,
The
bullfighter.
bullfighter.
The bullfighter. I don't think matador just means that precisely, but
Well,
that's what we
actually, there was a point in time towards the end of his WWF career that Tito Santana also used that as a name for a while there.
Yeah.
El Matador.
Yeah, we know what they are, but I'm not sure what it would the word itself would translate into English.
Yeah. A tropical hurricane brews on the horizon. Well, with big pictures like this and big captions like this, no wonder it's 22 pages, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, most comic books don't have this sort of thing nowadays where there's a big caption thing beside the picture. They just put the caption inside the thing.
The storm strikes the lugger. The storm strikes and the lugger is tossed about like a tiny chip on the crest of huge waves.
I think they meant ship instead of chip.
Yeah, actually, good point there. There's a little lettering or spelling error there. Little typo there.
Yeah.
Good eye, Rick. One of the crew is swept overboard, seemingly to his doom.
Help!
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Help! Help!
Yeah. But without a moment's hesitation, Shock plunges into the raging waters. He battles his way to the drowning man's side and hauls him to safety.
Yeah, not a lot of dialogue either in this one.
Well, we're at a point now where there's not as much dialogue. There was more dialogue before this, but now it's more
Nice
narration.
splash page.
Yeah. The hurricane reaches its full fury. The little lugger is driven right up into the streets of the coastal city on the crest of a mountainous wave. Look at that!
Yeah.
Look at how that village got flooded, huh?
Yeah.
Blown by the wind, a native hut hurtles straight for a cowering group of people. It seems certain to crush them. Look at that.
Yeah. Okay, how did he get off? How did all these people get off the boat or him in time to be in this plot?
Well, maybe those are the actual villagers. I don't
Yeah,
think
but
those are the crew members. I think those are the
yeah,
villagers.
but he just brought that crew member up. Why did he get off the boat and suddenly come on the island? I guess maybe the weather. I don't know. But I think there's some plot holes here.
But Shock braces himself to catch the hut, and with a mighty heave, he tosses it right back into the teeth of the wind. Wow, right back into the teeth of the wind.
Yeah, so it could come right back at you and hit you on the head.
And as the hurricane subsides,
Oh, you saved our lives. We are grateful.
as Shock walks through the ruined town, hey, what's this? El Matador Hospital is what that reads. Inside the hospital, power lines down, doctors work desperately. Hmm. You do the well. You
Yeah.
do. You want
Uh,
to do that first, doctor? I'll do the
okay.
second, doctor.
There's no hope for the boy. Without electric power, the iron lung is useless.
In 30 minutes, in 30 minutes, he will be dead. Quick as a flash, Johnson's. Get the irony of that. Quick as a flash.
Yeah,
Get the irony of that, especially with what we're talking about with the costume.
yeah.
Shock sends necessary current from his body into the iron lung. He he must be Shock Gibson. I've heard of him.
All the way down in South America, you've heard of this
The
guy.
boy, well, he may be a transplant too. You know,
Yeah.
the boy is saved. You've done a wonderful thing. Then, as Shock is wandering about the town, a desperate girl approaches him. You're Shock Gibson. I know of your powers. You've got to help me.
There is a lot of filler in this story.
Yeah. The girl explains to Shock that Her father, president of El Matador, has been kidnapped and taken to a castle far in the interior because he would not submit to control of foreign powers. This is von Kampf's work. Yes, von Kampf. That's the man. He's horrible.
Okay, so why is he leading? He has no idea where he's going, most likely.
Well, maybe she's leading him to where he's going.
Well,
'Cause
no, in the first panel there, you see him ahead of her, dragging her along.
but let's see how it kind of progresses here because
Yeah, yeah,
you see what's happening there.
yeah. Now
He's
he's flying.
well, yeah, he's pulling, but the thing is, yeah, he may be leading her by the hand, even though he doesn't know where to go. But if you think about how it ends up transitioning, he's
Yeah,
pulling, he's pulling her into him, into his arm to cradle her as he's flying.
yeah. I
So
guess you could possibly say that's what is gonna happen.
high through the air, Shock and Dolores. So they reveal her name here is Dolores. Okay, speed towards the jungle. Hold tight, Dolores. Oh, you're wonderful. Well, we'll soon be there. They come to an ancient Aztec stronghold inhabited by a strange tribe surviving from prehistoric times. Yes, that's a castle, I'm sure. What goes on here? They come upon an amazing scene. An Aztec sacrifice to the sun god approaches its climax. Explotec, explode, exlopectexel, plotexel. Now, you see what comes from being stubborn.
Yes, they
That one
will.
took up a whole page. That panel took up a whole page there.
Yeah, another splash page.
Yeah. Shock and Dolores reach the outer wall of the castle. That's my father. Then, in a mighty leap, I'll put an end to this foul business. That'll hold you. You! Terrified, the Aztecs run for their lives. Come back, you yellow-livered heathens! Get him! The Aztec warriors rush at Shock to hurl their spears. But once again, Shock creates an electrical field of force around his body. The spears glance off harmlessly. Um, I'll untie you. I'll untie you. Ride for help. You want to do the father there?
Uh, oh, thank you.
Now I'll tend to you guys. Texla for
Just make up something that doesn't.
Texel Elex to Texel.
Poor
Look
native.
at that! Look at that barrage right there. That's
Yeah,
fun.
poor
Dur-
natives. They were just being used by this guy.
yeah. During
Now
the
they're all,
well, you could probably say the same about the Lascars too.
yeah.
During the excitement, Von Kampf has managed to sneak out through the secret passage. I'm sure he doesn't see me. I can escape.
That guy does look like a Vulcan.
Meanwhile, the president has run across a roaming outpost of his army. Shock notices the Baron's escape. He must be making for the mountains. If I can reach the mountain, I'll be safe. With huge leaps, Shock pursues the fleeing Baron and overtakes him. Why don't you leave me alone?
Because you're committing crimes. You're hurting people.
The president's army makes its way through the hills. As his last resort, von Kampf draws a gun, and that won't do you any good. The terrific impact of Shock's punch knocks von Kampf off a cliff, and the Baron lands in the middle of the approaching army. So he falls off a cliff and he's spared from dying by basically a bunch of people just catching him.
Or it looks. I'm not sure what that red thing is, but it looks like a tree or something that he falls into.
Something to that effect, I guess, yeah. Um, all right, you're the father there, so
Okay. He's my prisoner now.
you swear. The end. Watch for Shock Gibson's next adventure. How did you like that story, Rick?
Interesting. Oh.
Of course, I know you liked going after all the plot holes.
Yeah. I think the writing for this one definitely is a little bit to be desired. I need they need to tighten it up a bit.
That's about 40 minutes to read.
Yeah.
We'll continue on here. Let's see. Crash Cork. That's more of an aerial one. Let's see. Ted Parrish. Ted Parrish, The Man with 1,000 Faces. This is another one that we read by Bob Stanley. A mysterious, baffling aide to the police, a relentless pursuer of the criminal in real life, known to neither the police nor organized crime. The Man with 1,000 Faces is the famous movie actor Ted Parrish, who is bored with Hollywood's social whirl and devotes his talents to the crusade against crime. So this is kind of a slightly different take than when we read this feature last time. Anyways, the Man of 1,000 Faces, disguised as a hanger-on, haunts the places where known criminals congregate. So, what do you think a hanger-on would be in this case?
Minions, just or either that or somebody that just hangs out in places.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like somebody just hanging out.
Or somebody that just likes to tag along to things. You know.
Yeah. All right, you want to do the guy in the green suit there?
Okay. Listen closely. This is the plan.
Ted Parrish listens to the whispered conversation with an ingenious, tiny amplifying device. And in the spoken word there is, I think, that's you. He just...
Colossal Studios, 5 o'clock. Then to the dock. State House.
I think that's street.
Or dock to the Dock Street House.
Later, Parrish reads, and look at the paper there. Child star kidnapped. Shirley Stellar snatched at 5 p.m. as she leaves studio. Ask $1 million ransom. Police are baffled. That's the crime I heard them planning in that dive last night. I'll have to go into action again. The Man with 1,000 Faces knocks at the door of the slum district.
What do
You
you
want to?
want?
I'm the plumber. I come to fix a pipe.
They don't need no fixing.
Hold on,
Hey.
hold on.
Oh,
There's,
yeah, I
there's
forgot.
narration up top there.
Yes, sorry.
From the inside, a child's voice cries weakly.
They don't need no fixing. Hey, where do you think you're going?
Help!
That guy. I heard the kid yelling. Get him! There he go. There he goes. Down that alley. Don't let him get away.
Uh, I'll duck into that doorway. Now that's more of a thought bubble than I think a word bubble.
Yeah. Hey, old lady, did you see a guy run through here?
Yes, he went that away. As the gunmen dash onward, phew, that was close. Now off with this makeup. Man of a thousand disguises there, huh?
Yeah.
Later, the man with 1,000 faces crouches outside the kidnap hideout with his amplifier, listening intently.
I think that guy was too scared to talk. Hey, Red, get some grub for the brat. Okay, I'll be right back with the stuff.
And look, he's probably about to get bopped right there. You see that down there, Rick?
Yeah.
Parrish grabs a gunman as he steps from the door.
What the? Oh!
Hmm. This will keep you quiet for a little while. Ted carries a thug to an abandoned cellar. I'll just borrow your clothes and your face for a while. Look at that. Strip the
Yeah.
guy down to his Johnny's there.
Yeah.
um,
Want me to do this guy too? This
yeah.
other side? Okay. Here, here's the red wit, the grub. Okay, go ahead and feed the brat.
Here, kid. Here, kid. Is something for you to eat. Keep quiet and listen to me. You're free now, and when I give the word, run out and call the police.
Hey, Devil.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying hi to Devil Flyer in the chat. Yeah, I
Ah,
got
Rick.
it. I got it right here. I'm gonna be doing an unboxing in the next couple days for oh, of course, black out all your information.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, Devil Flyer. We're going over. We're reading through Speed Comics Volume One, Number Two right now from Brookwood Publications, also known as Harvey Comics. So, um,
And I've also got the proofs for my books. Dude.
yeah. Let's see. Let me double check something here. Yeah. Rex, if you want to, you can share because you have a wrench. So if you want to like share your links to your channel or your book, feel free to do so. Also, if anything here that we're going over grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions, and we'll try to answer the questions to the best of our ability. So, anyways, we continue on here. Let's see. Stop whining and eat that grub. All right, I'll do. All right, I'll do as you say.
Hey, Red, I wanna write another ransom note.
Okay, boss.
I thought so. This guy's a phony, Red. Is left-handed, and he's using his right.
Hmm.
Uh, you must be the man with 1,000 faces. Well, I have you where I want you.
Ted Parrish brings his hands down swiftly on the electric light, a blinding flash, then darkness. Now, Shirley, now! Streaks of flame stab the darkness. Wow, interesting way. Streaks of flame stab the darkness. That's a very interesting way of putting that. To the
Okay.
spot where the man with 1,000 faces had been the moment before.
Turn on the other light.
Bang! A bang! Bang! The thugs find the other light.
He's got Joe.
He's all yours, boys.
Oof.
You'll be out of this scrap for a while.
Hold on to him, Scargo.
I just wanted to check on here before. I know that's me, so just hold on a second. I just wanted to see if anything else is being hit now. Okay. And this takes care of all of them. Now get to my other playmate and take off this disguise. The police will be here soon. I'll have to work fast. Led by Shirley Stellar, who escaped in the confusion, the police arrive a few minutes later. Um, those are the kidnappers. And you want to do the police guy right there?
Look, there's a note pinned to the chest of one of them.
I believe you were looking for these gentlemen. Always glad to be of service. Signed, the man of 1,000 faces.
We'll all be.
The mobsters are taken into custody. Later, Parrish is at the motion picture studios. I say, Ted. Oh, you want to do him? Go ahead.
Okay. I say, Ted, did you read about that man of the 1,000 faces? What a terrific actor he could be.
Oh, really? Next month, again, the man with 1,000 faces.
What happens when he uses all of them?
Well, again, well, I mean, 1,000 faces. Not everybody's going to remember every face.
True.
Here's a tech story, adventure in no man's land, a true story of the World War. Of course, at this time they were talking about World War One, not World War Two. There's a tech story. Bannon of the U.S. Marines. We might come back to that. Let me make sure you can Smoke Carter. See, I kind of forgot to check on just Landor and the Monster of Magic. Texas Tyler. Texas Tyler rides the Pony Express by Harry Walters. You want to do that guy right there?
Okay. So long, Texas.
With a valuable load of United States mail, Texas Tyler speeds through the western wilderness. There's the remount station. Looks like trouble down there. Burned to the ground. Not a sign of life anywhere. Poor old Zeb Stewart. Injuns got him through the heart. Why, what's this? Warning. Watch gold certificates, Zeb. With his last ounce of strength, Zeb had scrawled in the sand a warning to his friend.
Cool.
Zeb was a true friend, but I wonder what Injuns would want with the gold certificates I'm carrying. Tyler presses forward with his tired mount. In arrow, that means Injuns let's go. Tyler spurs on his horse as a group of painted yellow braves speedily pursue. Yellow. Oh boy, you could just hear the SJW screeching now, can't you?
Yeah.
Ah, I know you're tired, old hoss, but you'll have to give it all you've got. Texas halts suddenly at a 30-foot wide chasm. With a supreme effort, horse and man leap clear. Wow. The horse was tired and yet he was able to clear that? Look at that.
Yeah.
The pursuers' horses balked at the edge of the steep precipice. We're almost in tumbleweed now. Where we deliver this mail. Tumbleweed, huh?
I think I've heard of that town before. In the Old West stuff.
After delivering his mail, Tyler notices three hard-looking men rein up trail-worn horses. Um, something mighty familiar about those horses. I thought so. Indian clothes in the saddlebags. Get away from. You want to do that guy right there?
Get away from them horses. Hey, boys.
That's still you.
Come
Oh,
on,
wait, oh,
come on
never
up.
mind. Never mind.
So, yeah.
Come on out, everybody. We've caught a thief. A threatening crowd surrounds Tyler. Texas shows his credentials and his breed, but too late. In the confusion, the bandits right away. They're getting away. I'll bring them to justice.
Want some help, Tyler?
I want no help now. This is a personal affair. Texas gallops on, following the tracks of the killers. A sudden shot. It's an ambush. Unhit, Tyler dives for the shelter of a boulder. His six guns bark defiance. Interesting phrasing there, huh, Rick?
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't know guns could bark. Did you?
No. Yeah, I'm hit.
With his supply of ammunition running low, Texas worms his way to the rear of the gunman, but he is spotted.
Here he comes, Tyler. Kill him.
Oh, sneaking up from behind, huh?
Don't hit me. I'll confess. We killed Zeb Stewart.
That's what I'm after. It's the pen for you, hombres. Texas Tyler ends his adventure by bringing the killers to Western justice. A new adventure next month. That's a pretty quick read there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we hit the three main features I was looking to get through. So let's see. And we're just past the hour mark. So I guess I could try a few more. Maybe we'll cycle back around. Airspeed. USA, the Vought single seat low wing fighting monoplane is designed to pursue bombers. It flies at 243 miles per hour. And that's the red plane right here.
Yeah. No,
English.
I think that's one below it, the greenish yellow one,
Oh, okay.
because the other one's right on the plane.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, that could be a. Okay. England. The Armstrong Airspeed convertible and Envoy, a twin-engined. Okay, yeah. Fighting mono. Okay, I see your point. Yeah. Twin-engine low-winged monoplane, which has a speed of 170 miles per hour. USA, the Seversky Model 200, a military two-place low-wing monoplane with a speed of 315 miles per hour. This was written
Nice.
by Strock. Spike Marlin by Carl Larson. Guess we'll hit the story up. See where are we at on time?
About seven after.
Yeah. So yeah, sometimes when there's only like one book to read, sometimes it can't be. You know. Anyway, Spike Marlin by Carl Larson. Investigating a group of smugglers, Spike Marlin, rough and ready Secret Service man, awaits the arrival of an assistant in a small waterfront luncheonette. Howdy, beautiful. What you doing tonight? With you? I told you no before. Can't you take a hint? Um, Presently, a hardened seaman sidles up to the arguing couple. You want to do the
Okay. Hi, Spike. I hear there's good fishing near Pix Point.
Oh yeah, that's swell. Well, so long, Duchess. See you later. Meanwhile, on the dark waters of the bay lies a small pleasure yacht. From behind a small point, Pike uh, rows out toward the ship. Hmm. You want to do
Someone
this?
is someone's approaching, Captain.
Gently bumping against the yacht's newly painted hull, Spike secures his boat and climbs aboard. I gotta see the skipper right away.
Well, speak up, man. What do you want?
There's a gang of smugglers operating off this point. Get your crew ready and let's stop them. There, just beyond the cove. They've just taken on a load. If we hurry, we can get them red handed.
Let the Coast Guard handle it. It's none of my affair, and I'm not risking my neck.
But these men are smuggling narcotics and are a scourge on society. It's your duty as a seaman to aid in the extermination of these vicious crimes.
I gave you my answer. Now get off, for I toss you off.
There's no time for arguments. I'll take over. You want to do all the crew guys right there?
Hey, you can't do that. Yeah, this is a private ship. You can't just take over like that. Yeah.
Good. You did some good variations there, Rick.
Thanks.
Yeah. Can't I? Any one of you guys want to do something about it? No? Well, then let's get going. Come on your
Aye, aye,
toes,
sir.
lads. Yeah.
Aye, aye, sir. Okay, jumped the gun a little there.
Meanwhile, a short distance away, the heavily laden boat of the smugglers cleaves its way through the dark.
Boat coming up fast, boss.
A small yacht trying to overtake us.
I'll get the boys out just in case.
I say, so what? If they try to get funny, there's enough of us to get rid of them quick. On the yacht, Spike talks to the crew. We're outnumbered, but this is our chance to get this narcotics ring. Who's willing to board them?
Heck, I always did enjoy good scrap. Let's go, fella.
With a burst of speed, Spike and his men draw alongside the enemy craft and prepare to jump aboard. Laughing recklessly, Spike leaps to the other craft, and as the thugs come at him, he lashes out with rights and lefts. Morning, boys. Just dropped in for tea.
Okay, if he's supposed to have leaped to the other boat, why isn't he on the other boat fighting these guys? Or, oh no, maybe it's a small yacht. It's hard to tell which boat, who's on which boat.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think he came from the. I think the orange boat is the orange boat is the narcotics boat. The purple boat
Yeah.
there is the one that Spike's on.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking it was the reverse for some reason.
Right. One of the gangsters suddenly pulls a knife, but Spike picks up a belaying pin and slings it with deadly effect.
Ooh.
Ouch! Oh, look at that! Oh, some nasty hits there, huh?
Yeah.
Right, he just knocked down another
Suck.
guy. Meanwhile, the captain of the yacht calls the Coast Guard by wireless.
SOS, SOS.
And back on deck.
As soon as the Coast Guard gets here, I'll fix you, you pirate.
Meanwhile, the battle rages on. With fist flying, Spike is everywhere at once. In the cabin, the smugglers attempt to start the motors. No, no, you don't, my only friend,
Oily friend.
my oily friend. At last, reinforcements arrive. The government launch pulls alongside the Coast Guardsmen's leap on board. We'll take charge now.
Captain, I demand the arrest of this man.
Piracy, eh? Take him aboard my ship. Spike is brought aboard the cutter. Once ashore, Spike is taken before a judge, and the captain presses his charges. Captain, permit me to introduce Spike Marlin, secret agent for the U.S. Navy.
What? What?
Exactly, Mr. Wise Guy. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Oh, look at that. See what he's doing right there?
Yeah, the
Like, look at
the
this kid.
nose. The nose thing. I
Yeah.
got your nose.
And now I think I'll drop in and see Maisie. I told you before. No. Please leave or I'll. Let go. You're hurting me.
Oh, come on. Don't be uppity, babe. Baby.
You heard what she. You heard what the lady said. Now run along and play. Hello, Maisie. How about a date for tonight? Spike Marlin, you're nothing but a big bully. Going around hitting people half your size. No, I won't go out with you.
That guy looked the same size as him, maybe bigger. And hello, he just saved you from that other guy being an a-hole who's more of an a-hole than him. Lady, you need to get your priorities right.
Every month in Speed Comics, more thrilling adventures. Of course, there's Shock Gibson, the Human Dynamo, Crash Cork and the Baron, the Three Flying Aces, Spike Marlin, the Two-Fisted Seaman, Pip Mammon, the Fighting Marine, Smoke Carter, the Fireman, Ted Parrish, Man with 1,000 Faces, and others. Let's see, where are we at on time here?
17 after.
Yeah, so we got time. So we'll probably go back at the very least to the Biff Bannon story. That one.
Okay, well, you're getting that set up. I'm going to go grab a swig of something to drink. So I'll be right back.
Now we're, of course, going. There we go. All right, so as we're waiting for Rick to come back after he gets his name, do 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 do, and Rick's back.
Yes.
Rick, you want to kind of promote yourself before, because I gotta step away from the computer for a moment. I'll be right back. So if you want to go ahead and promote your stuff, go ahead. Share your
Yeah,
link or whatever.
no problemo. Hey, people, how are you? Who's here? Can we get a roll call? Are you enjoying tonight's stuff? We're actually ahead of schedule, I'd say, for tonight, getting stuff done. Normally, we seem to be rushing it a bit, but tonight we are not, which is definitely a good thing. Being not ahead, but yeah. If you guys want to go check out the link I put in the thing earlier over on Indiegogo, you can get Snowdrift #1 or Canadian Shield #2. So that is good, of course. Um, what can I say? What shall we say with the drunken sailor? Um, so I'm not sure what else to say. I've been enjoying the things tonight. They're pretty good. Um, Remington Bront. Is he a Bront? uh, Normally I can think of stuff to say. Um, but I don't know why I'm having trouble right now today. But I am. And we have Mike back, I think. So, what should I say? Anybody got any questions, any thoughts about stuff?
Oh, well, look at this. Mighty Geek Studios is there. Hey, Terry.
Hey,
Uh,
Terry.
Rick, welcome to the USMC. Yeah. I was thinking we'll probably make this the last feature because I don't think there's too many other features. That I think we covered a good portion of them, and I figured not a lot of people on tonight. Maybe we'll just cut it closer to an hour and a half because I've been running up until 2 hours on like the normal shows on the newscast shows. So
Yeah,
so if there's not many more stories to go over, I figured we'll just make this the last one. Start to wind things down after this. Sound good to
makes
you,
sense.
Rick?
Yeah, it sounds good for sure.
Hey, Terry.
We've done a bunch. Probably over half the book
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah. Fifth Bannon of the U.S. Marines by Remington Brott. And of course, Terry will be with me next Friday when we will, of course, be Terry from Mighty Geek Studios will be with me next Friday. And we'll be going over some of the books from Centaur. We'll be going over like Amazing Man
Oh, cool.
um, and a few
Uh,
others.
wasn't he just here with you last week?
Not last, like maybe a couple weeks ago. Because last week it was RJ.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess
It was
2 weeks
back
ago.
on the 24th of February. All right. So, anyways, look at that old square rigger next to the man of war. What a pretty peaceful sight. But Biff's musings are short. A blow on the head knocks him into oblivion. The odor of tar revives Biff. Was that was that a ton of bricks that fell on me? Where am I?
Hello, Leatherneck. I don't know exactly what the chief wants with ye, but you're gonna give over some valuable government secrets.
Biff deftly slips his forefinger in between the trigger and the gun. Oh wow! So making it
Ouch.
that would be painful for both of them. That's a pretty tight fit, right?
Yeah, for sure.
There you are, Lug. I can't stand uncouth guys like you. Well, I'm on the old sailing ship. Gonna do that guy as well.
My dear Marine, I am Captain Mork, and you are going to give me certain secret data concerning U.S. government codes, guns, and ship plans.
I believe that's Mooch, Captain
Mo-
Mooch.
Mooch, okay.
Let's see. Guess again, Mooch. You won't get anything.
We'll see, Jave. Keel him.
Bound hand, bound hand and foot. Biff is tossed into the sea and is dragged along the hull, barnacles tearing into his body.
Now, Jave, take him aloft and swing him from the yardarm till he talks.
Biff is hoisted to the masthead. There, unaware that Biff has regained consciousness, a sailor leaves his knife unguarded.
I just got one thing to say. They dragged him against the barnacles. They say it tore him up, but his jacket and his pants do not look torn up at all, nor does his face.
Yeah. Well, here's a thought too. Maybe they couldn't draw that. I don't know if they're already starting at least some form of censorship. But think about it. If he got
Yeah,
torn up like you suggest, he'd probably practically not just be scratched. His skin would be scratched up, but he'd be almost partially naked too.
yeah. Well, it depends on how bad. They could have made it look a little bit torn up, the jacket, at least. I guess I'm trying to say. Make it look a little bit to what they said.
Yeah.
Don't shoot him. He can't get away.
But Biff is one ahead of them with the knife. He cuts the lines of the sailing ship. Crash! Canvas, the billowing canvas plunges down, trapping the crew beneath it. Suddenly, Biff is aware of a form behind him. Summoning all his strength, um, his hit. Okay, I think that first it should have probably been all of his strength. Biff slides down the sail, hanging onto the knife he is using for a friction brake as it cuts. Okay, Mooch, your game is up. We've caught up with you at last.
Mighty Geek says certain things couldn't be drawn because it was considered unbecoming to wear a torn uniform.
Yeah. And this is still before the CCA too. It's still before the CCA, but even still, probably makes certain things could not be drawn because it was considered unbecoming for wearing a torn uniform. Yeah. So
Yeah, but if it gets torn in the line of duty, it's not like you're wearing it torn on purpose.
yeah, but I think I kind of get because it's kind of what I alluded to. I think I get where Mighty Geek is going with that. In other words,
Uh,
you
I
know,
get where he's going, but still, for the sake of the story, if it's saying he gets, torn up by the barnacles, then he should be torn up by the barnacles
okay.
or look like it.
All right. Anyways, um, Bannon, you can count yourself lucky. This is one of the most deadly gangs of smugglers and freelance spies. We're sending them to Frisco in irons on the freighter Aurora. Um, so, of course, here's my quick question: is that San Francisco or is that Frisco, Texas? Both cities use Frisco. Well, Frisco, Texas is the name of the actual city. Frisco has also been used as an abbreviated form for San Francisco.
Yeah, well, it probably would have to be San Francisco because I
That's more
doubt
on the
for
bay. Yeah.
yeah, I
Uh,
doubt I doubt Frisco,
Texas.
Texas would have any water leading towards it.
Yeah, I
Right.
guess you got a point there. You, Mooch, and Jave are going to join your friends later on the Aurora. But first, you're coming for a little ride with me. If loads the two leaders on a boat and cruises up to a waiting seaplane. And with Mooch and Jave tied to the pontoons, Biff takes his revenge. Keel haul me, will you? Mooch and Jave aren't Move and Jave aren't very comfortable as the plane. Yeah, so they're tied to the pontoons. So the pontoons are basically the
Yeah.
parts that go into the water there.
Yeah.
There's your private yacht, boys. You can be the guy on the left there.
Mm. The prisoners are safely stowed away in irons, Banyan.
And the leaders are here now. Throw them in too, Captain Ashton. Meanwhile, below there is a scuffle, and Mooch and Jade break away. Biff is after Jade. Cornered, Jade climbs the ladder up the funnel. Suddenly, the giant steam whistle blows. Boom! Meanwhile, Mooch, Mooch is successfully making his escape.
uh, that that door, that little door, I must try it.
Slam!
Pitch black, grease, and tar. Where am I? Chains. My gosh, I don't believe it. It can't be.
The whistle that sent Jade to his death blows again, signaling the raising of the anchors.
Huh.
Quickly, the anchors are heaved in, and the little room in which Mooch is hiding rapidly fills with tons of a huge chain, which relentlessly crushes him against the steel wall. Ooh, ouch! That's gotta hurt. The poor devil. He's in the anchor cable room. There's no saving him now. Our search is ended. Help!
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I,
I jumped the
I
gun
think it
there.
was supposed to go the reverse though for the things. But oh well.
The anchor is Mooch's tombstone. So that's Biff Bannon. So that's Biff Bannon. I've heard much about him. I wonder what new adventure he's flying to now. Don't miss the new adventures of Biff Bannon in the next issue. And I said we were going to probably, yeah, we'll probably end right there with that feature.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at hour 35 now, so it's probably a good time to start winding down. So, Oh yeah, we saw that. So
Those chains will cut him to shreds. Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, so we're at an hour 35 now, so we're gonna probably wind down a little early here. I hope everybody's enjoyed the show. Rick, if you can stick around afterwards for post game, or post show as it were. But anyways, with that, all that being said, today being Friday, March the 10th, 2023, why don't we go ahead and take a look back at this day in each history? History! We got 3 items here. Just gonna get everything kind of set up here. Um, all right. So first off, we're gonna head back 90 years ago, and on this date, 90 years ago today, um, this date 90 years ago today, Fleischer Studios' Betty Boop's Penthouse premiered in theaters on the animated short Betty Boop's Penthouse, Fleischer Studios. Premiered in theaters on this date back 90 years ago, back in 1933. It was an animated short film featuring Betty Boop, assisted by Coco the Clown and Bimbo, 2 of the characters. So 90 years ago, Betty Boop's Penthouse premiered in theaters. And also on this date in let's see. Actually, I'm sorry. On this date in 1999, which was 24 years ago today. 24 years ago today. The first issue of Authority from DC's Wildstorm imprint went on sale on this date back in 1999. The first story was The Circle, written by Warren Ellis, penciled by Brian Hitch, inked by Paul Neary, lettered by Bill O'Neill, with Laura Dupuy Martin doing the coloring. So on this date, 24 years ago today, the first issue of Authority from DC Comics Wildstorm imprint went on sale. And to wrap things up here, on this date 20 years ago today, back in 2003, WWF or WWE held its Monday Night Raw event from the Gund Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. Let's see. The main event saw the Hurricane defeat The Rock in a no disqualification match. Chief Morley and Lance Storm defeated Devon Dudley in a handicap match that, if Devon had won it, the Dudley boys would no longer be suspended. Triple H with Ric Flair in his corner defeated Maven. Wow, that was like 20 years ago. Maven from Tough Enough. Think about that. That was 20 years ago. The first Tough Enough. Jazz versus Trish Stratus ended in a no contest in a World Women's Title #1 contendership match. Jeff Hardy, who of course is now with AEW, defeated Rico, and Chris Jericho and Christian defeated Kane and Rob Van Dam. Kind of funny because I was when I was watching WrestleMania earlier, they were saying that Kane was Kane, who right now under his real name of Glenn Jacobs is the mayor of Knox County in Tennessee. They talked about the idea of maybe coming back for one more match. Now, granted, I think he's in his like late 40s, early 50s at this point, but that was interesting. That was an interesting piece of news today. So, anyway, so with that, guys, I thank you all for being here. Rick, if you can stick around for post show for a few minutes, we're going to wrap this up as we've been going along with the other shows this week, and we don't have much more to read over tonight. I will. I hope to see everybody back here on Sunday. Terry, of course, I'll be sending you the link on Sunday, as well as you, Rick. And with
Yeah.
that, I bid you all adieu and good night, and hope to see you all back here on Sunday. Bye.